It says, suppose the total cost of manufacturing, now let's see, total cost, Q units of a certain product is. So this is in thousands of dollars. So that's going to be your units. So we have to pay attention to that. Your input is in units, and your output is in thousands of dollars. So those are my units, and it says it's the total cost of producing that many. Now, why am I making a big thing about it? Because they're going to come down eventually. It says find the cost of producing only the 10th unit. And then it says find the average cost of producing 10 units. So they're coming at it. I have to understand essentially what C of Q is. It's the cost of producing Q units, whatever that is. And that's what it says. Find the total cost of producing 10 units. That happens to be C of 10. And C of 10 is 10 cubed minus 30 times 10 squared plus 400 times 10 plus 500. And with my handy-dandy little calculator, I calculated out to be 2,500 what? $1,000. Which looks weird to me, right? So how would I make that make sense? What would I need to add to make that, to get rid of the word 1,000? 3 zeros. This would turn into 2,500,000. So it's really $2,500,000. That's what $2,500,000 are. But either answer is correct. Find the average cost. Now, average cost is total cost divided by the number of units. That's the average cost per unit to produce 10 of them. What you have to remember is that when I'm looking at the original problem, it's a cubic. Cubics come in several flavors. Cubics can be things like S-curves. Cubics can also be things that have two humps. So in other words, what you're looking at is a graph that basically has an ebb and a flow to it. So you're saying, what is the average cost of producing 10 units? So on average, it's going to cost me so many dollars. And what that does is, it says it takes the high point, the low point, middle points, mushes them all together and says, this is on the average. Could cost you a little bit more, could cost you a little bit less, but this is the average cost. Well, we do have the total cost for producing 10 units. That's $2,500,000. The number of units we're producing is 10. So this is going to be $250,000. $1,000 what? Per unit. So total cost is going to be, or average cost is going to be total cost divided by number of units. So it gives you the average cost per unit. Then it says, find the cost of producing the 10th unit. How would I find the total cost of producing only the 10th unit by itself? Just that 10th unit. What would I need to do? C of Q is the total cost of producing all that stuff, right? 10 of them. But I only want to know what it cost me to produce that last unit.
So you just plug in 1?
No, because that only gives me the cost of producing 1 unit. And remember, this curve is going like this. So since the curve is changing, right, the cost of producing the first unit and the cost of producing the 10th unit may be different. So what would I need to do? I know the cost of producing 10 of them. 1 through 10. I only want to know the cost of producing number 10.
Would you do something like Q of 10 minus Q of 9?
Yeah, I would take what? The cost of producing 10 of them, subtract off the cost of producing 9 of them, and what would that give me? The cost of producing the 10th unit. That's what's left over, because that's what was added to C of 9 in order to get C total cost of 10, right? So this would be the cost of producing 10 units, subtracting the cost of producing 9 units. That's going to be the cost of producing the 10th unit. Well, the cost of producing 10 units we know is $2,500. And using my handy dandy little calculator, C of 9 is $23.99. And this is going to come out to be $101,000. Which is interesting because the average cost is what? $250. That last unit is only $101, so that tells you how that cost curve is changing. So who knows what kind of benefit